91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and it is 12 p.m. on a Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. Ladies and gents, it's time for Club Creative. And with today's guest, every bar feels like it's pulled from something sacred, something lived. Marv P is definitely one of the voices of the 757. Hailing from Norfolk, he's carved out a space that's raw, reflective, and rooted in both personal healing and community impact. Whether he's pouring his story into a track or pouring into the youth through his work with TWP, which we'll get into, Marv doesn't just talk about purpose, he walks it. So his latest project, The Heart Part 3, is another chapter in a series that feels like less of an album and more like a confession booth. And today we're diving into the man behind the music, the movement, and the message. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Marv P.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
What's good with you, Marv? How are you today?
I'm chilling. I'm feeling good.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for coming through this nasty weather to make it here. You're no stranger to Hot 91, so I know you're already familiar, with how everything works, the ins and outs.
It's family.
Absolutely. Now, in listening to your most recent album, we need to dive right into the music. All right. From The Heart Part 3 that you released this past December. I was drawn to, of course, the flow. Like, your music goes crazy, obviously. You're an amazing lyricist. I will definitely give you that. Yes, for sure. But I was really drawn to your transparency and the truth that you tell about your life and your experiences. So I want to applaud you on being so real, because that really takes a lot of courage and vulnerability. But with being such a strong lyricist, I feel like I could ask you to rap or sing about anything and you would turn it into like a masterpiece that's just really deeply felt. But the series of albums from the heart are like glimpses into the life of Marv P. So what was the catalyst for you to share your story through music, especially being there's so many different forms of artistry?
Well, I had a song where I didn't always like being like super transparent. I had a song, Big Fella, I think it was like 2017, that really started gaining like recognition. So that's the song that made me out, and it was just a joke. It was more so like, oh, big girls get all the love, big dudes don't get no love, you know what I'm saying? So I created Big Fella, and then that, like, it did like 90,000 streams first day.
Wow.
So
oh, wow.
It was like something, it was like, to me, it was like, oh, you're thinking too hard. Just actually tell your story, tell your experience, or like share your thoughts on how you feel, whether it's fun, whether it's serious, whether it's life, whether it's like things you think about, whatever the case may be. So that's what leaned me more in that direction, and then came from The Heart Part 1, and then 2, and then.
Well, it's not easy to make that switch though, from being, all right, this little jokey joke song, to being like, no, this is my real life here. So kind of what was the trigger for the transparency, or what made you comfortable with sharing like that?
I felt like that's what made me different. I don't think everybody's willing to do that. I think, by me being willing to do that, caused me to stand out. And so if you caring about like what people say, or like how people like feel about your experience, then I feel like you thinking about it wrong. So I looked at it more so like I could share my experience, and then that maybe help someone on their journey or whatever. Because a lot of my favorite artists are the ones who are more transparent. Like early on Kanye West, early on J. Cole, early DMX. They were sharing the experience of like the life they lived and like in their environment. So that's what kind of like gave me the like, all right, you're not the only one doing it, but like who's doing it here? Like who's doing it that who's doing it in our era? And that's me. I decided that's
that is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then when I was listening to From the Heart Part 1, I actually got that vibe of that old Kanye. Like I like that, not just the flow, but like just what you were talking about. It was just very homey and personal. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I loved it though. Now, back in 2019, you were recognized as Something in the Water by some VA legends, including Pharrell, Timbaland, Teddy Riley, Push, and Chad Hugo. And that wasn't even planned. So tell me a little bit about that experience. How did that come to be?
Oh, that was actually, I credit that to actually hanging around campus, like whether it's ODU or NSU and all of that, because I wasn't supposed to actually go to that panel. I was actually supposed to see Masego. I was going to see Masego perform. I met Masego, and we was, I wouldn't say we was like the best of friends, but I knew Masego when he went to ODU, when he used to have like jam sessions in the caf and stuff.
Wow.
So I was going to see, and just pay respect, like that's dope that he's on that platform. So then it started raining, lightning, and doing all that. And we was already in there because it was like another panel before that about like, I think it was music publishing or marketing or something like that. So when we sat in there, And I'm like, oh, snap, I didn't even know that panel was about to go on. So I'm like, oh, yeah, we just stay in here. And we was already sitting in the front or whatever. And towards the end of the panel, it's crazy because I think someone, I'm not sure who, I think it was an audience member asked, so if you believe it's something in the water, like, who from Virginia you got your eye on, right? So none of them had said me at first, you know, so they went around and they said who they thought. And then it gets to Chad, and Chad's like, I don't know, just ask them. So I didn't know I knew mad people in the room because I was sitting like towards the front. So all my homies, I'm with like 5-6 people, they're like, yeah, Marv, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
put you on the spot.
Marv P. Right, so I'm like, all right, and then like more people in the room started doing it. So like, if it's recorded too. It's like the other tone panel. I forgot what episode it is. But yeah, you can hear it in the recording. They're like, Marv, right? So then they start passing the mic around. I think someone sung first, or someone did something, and they was just like, nah. So it get to me, and so I just do my thing, and it was like just history from there.
Do you remember what song of yours you performed?
I performed. It was like a beat. It was like a verse I did to I think a Busta Rhymes beat or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I performed that verse because it had a line in there about push.
Okay,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh yeah, this gonna set him off.
This gonna get him. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he'll resonate with that. But yeah, and then I think he did. So yeah.
Yes, I saw they gave you a lot of congratulations. They were really digging you and feeling like your sound. What do you think it was that struck them and made you stand out the way that you did compared to the other people that went before you? Like, what do you think really resonated with them?
Well, they were singing, well, we didn't have like music background on that. Yeah. It was just like, you get the mic and you do your thing. But like, they were singing, the one person sung something that was a cover. The second person sung like Music Soul Child or something. Mm-hmm. So when I grabbed the mic, I just started rapping. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because they was looking for something. They was like, they wanted something unique. They wanted something that was like, authentic, like something different that's yours, like not no one else's. So I think they gave me the advantage when everybody else was like singing covers or something. Then by me doing something like that was just solely mine, it was like, okay, yeah,
like it's yours. It
was kind of over after that too. Like,
yeah,
I don't think they passed the mic to nobody else after that. Yeah,
like literally dropped the mic on you as it should. Now, and I think that's a really important thing in our creative scene here in Virginia is originality. And I don't care what anybody says. I feel like we are so good at that when it comes to like our artists here. So that's super important. But being born and raised in Norfolk, what was your experience like growing up here, and how did it affect you choosing music as an outlet?
Music wasn't my first love. It was actually football, but I'm no NFL star. I think the further I progressed, like the more I realized how like, oh, I'm really not as talented at this. Like in rec league, I was amazing. Like rec league, I was amazing. I get to high school, JV, I was like mid. I get to varsity and I'm injuring myself and I'm like, this is not really what I want to do. Like, and then I was like, nah, I don't even think I want to go further with this. But I was always like in chorus like all my life. And then I had a English teacher, a 9th grade English teacher named Miss Campbell, my creative writing teacher. And she is the one that introduced me to poetry. And this white lady, she was like mid-60s. We were saying, I think one of the first things was like Tupac. She's going through Tupac lyrics, like dissecting it. And she's like pointing out all the metaphors. And I just took interest in that. And I was like, oh, so like, this is really an avenue to tell your story. And then, and singing is like so much more to it. But I fell in love with just the art of being able to tell my story as like my avenue. So.
Yes, absolutely. And you're so good at that. I feel like you must have been a natural or something after that experience you had with the teacher, because unless it's just something you feel like you've had to practice to be good at. But like I said, when I'm listening to your music, I'm like, you are spitting. Like I was taken aback by, what song was it? One of them on the Heart Part 3 had me gagged. When it said, hold on, because I wrote it down. When it was the song where you ended it on Tell Martin, 20,000 Nights Later is Still a Dream. Something about that song did something to me. I was like, yo, you are really spitting and talking about real life things that affect each and every one of us. And I was just, it did something to me. So I feel like it must be a natural gift that you have. Like I said, unless it was something that was studied.
I definitely, around the way in your neighborhood, you might be nice. But like once I started like putting music out there, because after Big Fella, I kind of like wiped everything before it off the internet. Well, I tried to. It's probably some random stuff
still
floating around. But yeah, so because I wanted, that was like practicing. And I was like, I mean, the older I get and the more music I make, I feel like the better I get, the more I look at some of them songs and be like,
that won't quite it. But
yeah, if it's out, everything from Big Fella to now, I stand by. If they hear it, it's cool with me.
Well, what's your mission with your music? Like, what do you hope people take away from it when they're listening to it?
Just being you. It's like you're enough. Your story is like enough. And it's you're not the only one sharing an experience. I believe, life is about duality. So It's like it's going to be good times, it's going to be bad times, and like you just have to find a way to enjoy the experience as a whole. So don't get too high when it's high, don't get too low when it's low, because it bounce back, So in my music, I try to just share that like transparency. Like people will look at me and say, "Oh, you're like this person, and a lot of people like you, or your music's here, and people are like showing you love, and you're getting these opportunities." And I showed you the path and all of my thoughts on the way. So it's like, if you're in the same position, like it's possible for you too, because I've shared my whole journey, and I was pretty transparent about it. So I just think I hope it inspires people, and it's not just music. In life, I think people should like chase what you want to do. I think we take life too serious. You know what I'm saying? And we sacrifice too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like take care of your business, but at the end of the day, it's an experience you gotta enjoy. You can't like live 80 years and hate all 80 of it.
Absolutely.
So like, if you don't like that job, find a job that you like. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that goes for every avenue. I don't want to be like, you don't like that person, find a new partner.
Yeah.
But it applies to that too. I think we just spend too much time compromising because we are afraid of starting over. We're afraid of things we don't know. So yeah, I'm not.
Obviously. No, and that's made very obvious in your music and in your demeanor. I feel like you are really just showing the world the realest parts of the realest you, period. That's just what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Marv P in the building for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and for Club Creative Hour today, we are joined by none other than the oh-so-talented Marv P, who is in the building. Now, Marv, one thing I really admire about you as a person and, of course, as an artist, is your passion about the youth and helping the upcoming generation. So tell me a little bit about the Norfolk-based org, Teens with a Purpose, and also how you got to be involved.
Well, I kind of grew up around them. In a sense, I just always around them, like from the ages before I could even be a part of it. But then once I graduate high school, my mom was like a part of this other organization, so that's how I met them when I was young. But after I graduated, I felt an obligation to like, it was there for me, whether I used it to its full potential or not. It was there for me, so I felt an obligation to make sure it was there for another generation. So I started going back, mentoring and being a peer leader, and I never left. That's family, So, and it's amazing the work they do, and just that they're there. It's a lot of people I think we take for granted, people that have someone or have resources, especially at young ages. So it's there, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is. I love the work that you guys do that I've seen. And when you say that it was there for you, you mean like those resources were available for you growing up with them?
Yeah, whether I used them or not, because they had like summer camps, they had spring break camps, they after school programs. They take you to all these different places and create different experiences for you to find interest in. And I was just a young little stupid kid from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't use it to its full potential when I was a kid. But as I got older, I realized how important it was and how important it was for that to stay around. So that's when I started really like pouring and going back into getting into that work.
Well, what do you do as a mentor with them?
So you have it's kids that really just be going through stuff, and like sometimes they look at you as like, oh, you're the cool guy now, like, you know what I'm saying? You're the like, I want to be like you, like you drive a nice car, you live in a nice house, like I look at you as like this cool person. So it's like they'll listen to you more so than they'll listen to their teachers, sometimes their parents, or you know what I'm saying, or older siblings or whatever the case may have you. But and just giving them real game. I talk to them like they're adults, because you're gonna be an adult one day, and I just, I pray that somebody keep it real with you along the way. Like, don't sugarcoat it, and then you like get into the world and it hits the fan for you, and your whole life people have sugarcoated it for you, and now you don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, so you're that dose of reality for them.
Yeah, just like it is with whether you messing up and I'm telling you get your grades right, or I'm helping you with this, that, and the third, or I'm just being there. You know what I'm saying? A presence. So, yeah.
Now, although your music is highly introspective and personal, you know, to your personal experience, you tell stories that I think a lot of people can relate to, you know, or have experienced themselves. So how do you use that when you're mentoring, or use that to connect with your mentees, your music? If you do.
I know they'll listen. So I'm very like conscious of what I say in music, because like I'm not a shoot 'em up, bang bang type person. So that's not what I record, you know. And whether sometimes they're not gonna ask you about certain things, but in my music I figure like I talk about things that I would like to hear songs about. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I would like to hear a song about this, that'd be cool. Or I know so and so will listen to this. Like right now, I make a lot of things I talk about in my music is like my nephew is my like my gauge. You know what I'm saying? Because my nephew is 14, he about to be 15 next month, and I always send him the music first. And it's like the song I Got Addictions from my latest project. That was me. Yeah, that was me in a sense teaching him about being addicted to material things and money. And I had that experience growing up where we didn't come from much. So I had like this lust for like things, you know, whether it was like Jordans or whether it was this different clothing brands, Rockaway, Coogee, you know, whatever we was wearing at the time, I had like a lust for that. And my mom couldn't afford to buy me all of these things for school. So I started getting my little hustle on, whether it was cutting grass, doing whatever, to like make money to buy these things. And in that, I found myself a long journey just looking for, it's never enough. You know, you always want something that's more. You always want just more, you know what I'm saying? So like whether it's like you're not happy or content, or not even content, I would say you're just not happy with what you have. Like you don't even appreciate what you have. So I realized my addiction in a sense was acquiring things. It wasn't even the things I was acquiring. It was just the
action of acquiring them. Yeah. You know, I understand.
I wanted this, I have it, and now I mistreated everything. Like a car, I always wanted this car, and then I get the car and I'm just treating it like dirt because now I want another car. You know, so it's teaching those type lessons, and I think I did that with that song.
Yes, like never being satisfied. And it's crazy. I was literally just about to get into that song because I feel like when you were younger, obviously you might have done things however you did them, whatever, and you grew up to do things the way that you do them now. But when you were talking about those things as far as having like an addiction to materialistic collecting, if you would, in addictions, but what things in your childhood or teenhood would you want to see done differently, especially when it comes to your nephew or comes to the teens or young adults that you're mentoring now, and like through either TWP, whatever the case may be? What is it that you want to see them do differently, like especially given the experiences that you had growing up?
Get to it for sure. Like I teach my nephew, it's not a bad thing to want more, but what you do with it and why you want it is a different reason. You know what I'm saying? So make the focus bettering yourself, bettering your position in life. You know what I'm saying? Bettering those around you. Make that the focus. So if I'm getting to it constantly, and of course I'm gonna get things and obtain things along the way, but the reason and why I'm doing it, and you know, like if you can, for example, afford $100,000 car, by all means, you should have one. Why not? You know what I'm saying? If you can afford it. But like, let that be a thing. Like, you're a millionaire with this $100,000 car. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not gonna break you to get that.
You're not doing it to impress somebody else. You're doing it because that's your quality of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't minimize like your quality of life because of like, oh, people gonna think something of you. It's like, no, it's like, okay, millionaires, you have an option now. The more money you have, the more options you have. Like, I could drive a Toyota Corolla. I could get a G-Wagon. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I have that option.
You know what I'm saying? But you have the option. So, like, don't minimize your quality of life, like, for that. But at the same time, just, like, it's the reason of why you're doing it. Like, I'm getting a G-Wagon because I make X amount of money and I just prefer these things. This is like what I want. This is what I like. Because you should reward yourself, but don't get caught up in the things you're rewarding yourself with.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's very important. Now, you are literally so full of wisdom. Like, it just seems like, it's true. I don't know if it's what it comes from, but you just have an immense amount of wisdom. And I can see, obviously, why you're a great mentor. What kind of experience, like the ones that stand out the most to you, have shaped who you are as a person? Like the ones that you would deem to be even life-changing, even the small things that have helped you to acquire this amount of wisdom that you can pass on to people?
I don't know. I just seen, and this is a weird duality situation, but I've seen great things happen to bad people, and I've seen bad people receive. You know what I'm saying? It's like both ends of it. Like it's good people who gets the bad end of the stick, and it's bad people sometimes who get the good end of the stick.
Absolutely.
And you have to decide who you want to be in that part of it. Like, people who are doing whatever, they may be getting the good end of the stick for now. You don't know how long that lasts. You don't know their journey. Because it's people that's like, they reach their finish line. Your finish line may be miles away. So it looked good for them right now. But that's the end for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just deciding where you want to, like who you want to be and on the inside. Because we can be whoever we want to be on the outside. But when it's said and done, nobody looks in the mirror at nobody else. You only look at yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You're the only person that see you in the mirror. So you got to be okay with what you see.
And you can't run from that.
Yeah,
so that is very true. Now, in your song Goodbye, you said, what did you say? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Now, you wear it well. Don't get me wrong. But how do you stay? Yeah, for sure. How do you stay strong enough, though, to maintain that crown, if you would? Like, because you support and uplift others. You tell your story to a public that can sometimes be judgmental or, have a certain view of you or your experiences. Overall, you carry a lot of things on your back. So how do you structurally, foundationally maintain that strength to carry all that comes with who you are, being Marv P?
Focusing on peace. I don't entertain or be around too many things that disrupt my peace. That's where I draw the line. If it makes me feel a way, if it has the power to make me feel a way, that's not a good way, then you know what I'm saying?
It's out of here.
Yeah. And balancing that really helps you maintain your happiness. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about the things you do, who you're around. And that kind of helps you kind of like filter. But if it's anything that threatens my peace, then I'm good.
It has to go.
Outside of that, it's just discernment. Yeah, so
discernment. You have to build discernment. I feel sometimes.
Sometimes we don't trust ourselves. We'll be in situations that we question or around people that we question, and we're waiting for them to show their true colors. And it's like, nah, if you question it, it's for a reason. Like, I think like the butterflies you get, when people like, I had a gut feeling. No, that's the energy within you responding to the energy around you, and something ain't right. So you either need to get up out of there, do something different. You know what I'm saying? So I really like wholeheartedly believe in that, like trusting yourself, like. Because every time something usually happens, they be like, I knew
that was about to happen. Yep.
I knew they was trash. It's like,
it's true though. Yeah.
So like, just trust yourself, and like, if it threatens your peace, it's a no.
I totally agree with that. One thing about it, I have found that the most important thing you can do to center yourself is foundationally have boundaries, yes, but to make sure that you are keeping yourself at peace, so that you're, what do I be saying? So that you're a thermostat, not a thermometer.
And when you're doing something for other people, the reason can't be that you're doing it for other people. The reason has to be more that you're doing it for yourself. Like, even when you're helping somebody out, it's because you want to. It's not because more so they need it. Because if I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. You know what I'm saying? But if you can do it, then you help someone out. People be trying to make people feel bad for not doing all types of things. Is where they be like, you could have did this. And you could have too. But you know what I'm saying? But I chose not to for whatever reason. You could choose to for whatever reason. So, yeah.
But that's real. And I think a lot of people, that might go over their heads if you say you should be doing it for yourself. It's like, oh, that's selfish, or but that's a real thing. And I had to actually sort that out with myself. people at the root of most things, of most of their actions, they're doing it out of what they want for themselves. And it's the truth. Whether that's a good thing, giving makes you feel good. Whether it's, oh, I'm graduating college because, you know, my mom didn't get to go to college, so this is for her. You're doing that because it's going to make you feel good for making her feel good. But it's always, you know what I mean? So yes, at the root, you have to make sure that you're doing it with the right intentions, but it does come from self at the end of the day. That's so real. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it locked. We got Marv P in the building for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, Marv P in the building for Club Creative. Marv, you've been spitting nothing but wisdom. And honestly, next time you need to charge or something. Because it's just, you know, for real. Like, honestly, I can see, again, how you are such a good mentor and how you're just, you know, influencing the youth and those around you with your music, yes, but also just with who you are. I can just tell. You just have a very good heart.
That's love.
Yeah, the energy definitely shows. Now, what's next for Marv P? I know you have just released the Heart Part 3 in December. However, I saw some teasers on Instagram that I am excited about myself. So tell me, like, when can we expect some new music?
I dropped a song with Calvin, Don't Deny. Calvin Mirage, an incredible producer. I dropped that on May 3rd. I had another single release. I'm really going to just wild out this year. I've never released a lot of music.
Go crazy.
So, like, I'm going to really challenge myself to, like, release all of the things I create. But right after that, I want to say the 12th-ish, I released a song with Zaya. We got that song coming out. I got a song with Lee Core. Should be this weekend, within a week or so. That's amazing. Everybody loves the song Borders we have together. We created years ago. So we got that. I got another single with Jalik coming. Jalik produced it, top of June. I have a really, really strong summer song I'm really proud of too. And I'm gonna drop that on my birthday, June 29th. So we're gonna have a video and drop that single. And I'm just hitting them all. I'm gonna probably do an EP in July. So just staying up there, staying working, staying active. Of course, we got our community festival, July 12th, in Purpose Park, Teams with a Purpose Fuse Fest. So it's gonna be a busy, you know.
It is
one of them busy years.
Back to back to back, but I'm not mad at that at all. It's something to always look forward to. Now, and get into a little bit about the festival, because I know you came on Hot 91 last year to talk a bit about it, but give us a little recap. What is it?
So it's a community festival in what I consider to be the heart of Norfolk, Church Street District, between Young's Park, Curry Park. And it's just beautiful. It's one time a year where it's just straight love and people pouring into people, and I think that's what we need more. So whether it's like wellness activations, music, art, installations, everything's like interactive as well, so that people can get involved with whatever's going on. Last year, we back to school drive, we gave away, I want to say, upward 400 backpacks.
Wow.
And, bags of school supplies. So like, it's really just pouring into the community, a day of just pouring in. So it's fun. The talent that's booked is amazing. The art is amazing. The food is always great. It's like food trucks everywhere, things for the kids to do, things for the adults to do, workshops. It's just a great time, but it's very needed in Norfolk, in my opinion. So it's a day we just pour into each other.
Yes.
And, in bloom, you know what I'm saying?
In bloom. I love that. It's a day of community and fun and fellowship, you know, as people like to say, but that's the truth. It looks like it was amazing last year, and it's on June 12th.
July
12th.
Make sure that date, I don't want to misspeak.
Yes, by all means. And also let us know where we can plug or where we can find more information. You know, plug the socials as well.
Oh, you can definitely find information at TWP The Movement. Everything about the festival will be there. You can also always find it on my page. Andre Love's page. His page is We Love You Andre on Instagram. Mine is Marv P. TWP is TWP The Movement.
Yes.
So yeah, any of those pages you always can find information to it.
Okay, perfect. And I know your music is also located on your IG as well. It's in the bio if you all want to listen, as you should, because like I said, your music, like I said, it's just touching because it's so real, but also lyrically, it just something about it just really engaged my spirit. You know what I mean? So I think that everybody would benefit from just taking a listen and hopefully be inspired rather to be real. Now, with these future collaborations you have coming up soon, or the ones that you also just released, you mentioned some really notable artists in the community, including Zaya. Now, what is your relationship like with the other creatives in the 757, and how do you think it has impacted your career? But also just speak on the importance of maintaining these relationships with other artists in the 757. Like, why is that so important to Virginia?
Yeah, Zaya's like family too. That's like my sister. And then I think you should collab with who you like, things you like, things you enjoy. And it's important because, I mean, it's actually boring, in my opinion. Like, if you don't collab musically, like, if you produce your own stuff, if you only, it's you, it's boring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually fun. With, you know, a lot of artists are fun. It's something that you meet and you be like, I thought I would like you. You probably weird, but you know what I'm saying. But,
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying. But it's just fun, the spirit of collaboration, and I think what comes of it is dope. Being from Virginia, it's a weird pocket. We don't have a sound because like we're the ones who set the tone for what's cool. You know what I'm saying? So like. We don't have that in New York. Oh, you from New York? If you rap like this, that's the first step. Mm-hmm. You already at the door, you know what I'm saying? Or if you from Atlanta or West Coast, you know what I'm saying? We don't have that, but our first step is being original. The originality is like our first step. That's our sound. So if it sounds original, it sounds fresh, it doesn't sound like nothing else, then you know it'll work because that's what makes us us. Like, we got the sauce, and they gotta get the sauce from here.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you gotta get the sauce from here.
I love how everybody has that common idea of Virginia, though, that we are all different, and this is really the original place for a lot of things that people call quote-unquote trends now. But I love how all of our artists are individualistic. They have their own unique pockets.
What I would like to learn, though, I don't know what about our experience growing up here generates that, though. It's like not something that happened in your life, or it's not something that you do that like, oh, that's what makes you more original. It's just like that's in our spirit to be like that type of person.
Not to be corny, but I think they tried to answer that question with something in the water. Like, you know, it really is just something in the water out here. I'm not, like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, but it's like not a thing that's like, oh, they got this thing that makes them this.
It's not a recipe. Like, we just got it.
You got to be from here.
Yeah, to understand it. Well, Marv P, I appreciate all of your time here. Of course, all of that wisdom that you have given us for free today. Like, I hope that our listeners are able to apply that to their lives. Just be you. Be real, be authentic, and you never know who you're inspiring with that. What is the footprint that you want to leave on the 757?
The one that guided the way. Not necessarily just the one that made it and left the door open or whatever the case may be. It's just that, yeah, the one that said, hey, here's another way to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is my way, and with that being said, choose your way. But it doesn't have to be a particular thing. Because growing up, I thought the only way to make it was like to be a street guy or play sports. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up in a rough neighborhood, but I'm no street guy. Like, I never wanted to be the street guy. I wanted to play sports. I realized that wasn't it. So then I had to figure it out. I'm like, hey.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I just been like, because I was conscious of that and I wasn't willing to be somebody I wasn't, I just decided, like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. If it works, it worked. If it doesn't, I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I live.
You're doing it well. You're wearing it well. I hope that you continue to thrive. I can't wait to see what else you do and to listen to more of your music because now, like I said, I'm hooked now. Coming. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Marv P. That is Club Creative Hour for the day. Make sure you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I have your mental health moment with Mercedes coming up on Hot 91, the soul of VA.